Now, you're probably thinking, yo, Zell, what the heck was that last video? Dude, like, when did you get a Supra? How long have you had this video? Why are you wearing the same jacket you were wearing when you were working on the car? Like, yes, we would probably ask so many questions, but I am here to answer them all, or just give the best information that I can, or best insight that I can, rather, about the car. So, I had bought a 1987 Supra a very long time ago now. I don't even remember when I bought it. And I bought it, very good deal, like I was saying in the video. Everything I said in the last video was truthful, man. Very good deal. Um, Also, I mean, if you haven't watched that video, I'll link it down below. Go watch that before you watch this because I don't want you guys to be confused in the process and the timeline of everything. But bought this car, super good deal, man. I really like. It's not that I fell in love with the car when I saw it, but she got potential. So I'm like, yo, I can work with it, bro. Like, it's an 87. It's not my favorite year of the Mark III Supra, but I can turn it into, something real great because all of the post 89 parts work. And, I can get the headlights, I can get the tail lights, I can swap the motors. It's pretty much the same construction, just a different body before the facelift. Also, the non-turbo motor, as you guys know, and but I was okay with it because I'm not gonna get a turbo Supra, a turbo chassis for less than I got this car for. So, but motor wasn't running. Pretty much trailered it back to where I was working on it at, and I pretty much went through everything. Not everything. I mean, as far as like getting it running, all the simple things you could think about. I skipped a very major step that I probably will never skip again, and that's diagnosis. I could have figured this issue out months ago if I was thinking, but I was just prepared to throw money at the car, buy parts and just pray that it starts work, start or at least runs. But so I did start off with a distributor cap and rotor. Then I proceeded to, I think I bought the ignition coil. I had bought a new MAF sensor. And then I think I bought some fuses and stuff because it was blowing fuses. That's at least, that's what my dad was saying when we were looking at the car. We're like watching the fuses at night and we could see them kind of light up. So we thought they were blowing fuses. And I was swapping them from under the dash onto the ones under the hood and, just trying to make everything work. Throughout all that, and even with the trying to get it started with starter fluid and everything you can possibly think of with the car, man, we tried. I was right though, wasn't getting any spark. Main way you can tell, especially on the older car, is if the RPM gauge moves when you're cranking it. If it's not moving, you're not getting any spark. So when I did replace the cap and rotor, it did start to move. So I believe I did fix that issue with the CPS sensor because that's where it was located at. It's pretty much your entire distributor unit is the CPS. So got that fixed. And the car, through all that, the car actually ran for a minute. We started it up. It ran for a solid minute. It ran, dude. And I was excited. I was like, yo, we are finally getting somewhere. Like, dude, like, finally we can go from here. We'll play at the timing a little bit and, figure it out. This car was shooting flames out the intake. I was telling me, like, okay, so timing is 180 out. So we fixed the timing on the crank, the cam gears, and then I fixed it by turning the crank. So I was like, yo, okay, we got that fixed. Like, my dad was messing with the ignition timing, I think it is. Fixing all that, man. And we never got the car to run again. So I stopped working on it for, man, it had to be months. And pretty much ran out of ideas, man. I was like, I don't know what it could be. At this point, I'm like saving money for a swap like all this year. So I'm like, you know what, bro? Like, I'm just gonna save money. And in the meantime, I'm gonna buy another car, bro. I think this is where I messed up at, man. Silly me. I bought a BMW. I bought a 335i. I wanted to make content with it, but man, this recently that car has been this. I don't even want to tell you guys about that car really because this is about the Supra. But just know BMW's up for sale, so hopefully we get rid of it soon to make money and try and put it towards the Supra. If I decide to keep the Beamer, then it is what it is. We'll still make money, make everything work, but it's all in God's hands, man. I really can't tell you what's gonna go on, but so yeah, I got to the point where I was like, man, I'm gonna swap the Supra, buy another car instead, and I'm back at the point to where I really want to work on the Supra and make this car work. So a few months ago, maybe not a few months ago, a few weeks ago, I decided to test the compression. I was like, let me just start from ground zero and do full diagnosis, just completely work backwards. So I test the compression, and lo and behold, 1 through 5 was great. 180 psi, like motor was brand new. Cylinder 6 was cranking at 60 psi. Like, dude, I don't care if you got a freaking 4-cylinder, 1000 cc, freaking K motor, like not a K series, but like a K car from Japan motor. Like 60 psi is not cranking nothing. So I still don't know if it's like valves or piston rings, but cylinder 6 is dead. So I had to rebuild the motor. That's the plan, is to rebuild the 7MGE. I really want to do it for experience. I've had hands-on experience with like LS's on the motors, like B series, K series, something like that. Even like big Chevy motors, 350s, and even like the economy motors, like your standard Hyundai Elantra motor. It's engine building isn't so far out of my realm. So I just want to do it for the experience, though. 6s run forever, and once you get them right and dialed in, then they're great motors to work with. And I just want to drive the car. So that's the smartest way. I believe the cheapest way to get everything, to get the car pretty much back on the road, and we have a clean slate to, work towards that swap again. But my main concern on the car is the wiring. There's just so many like open connections and loose wires, and the wires are brittle because some of them have oil on them. So rubber is like this pretty much just deterialized. Is that even a word? Just I don't even know, but it's dematerialized, I guess you can say. But man, it's just a mess. And I don't know if it's the previous owner, the owner before that. I'm sure he drove the car like that. It wasn't worried about the wiring catching on fire or anything like that. I mean, as long as it ran. I may consider buying a new wiring harness, or this, or I don't know what the cheapest options. I did look at some wiring harnesses, and they were all in Australia. And Australia is that it's like $1,500 plus the Australia shipping fee. I don't even know if I want to mess with that, man. So just might have to just look at the forums and see what I can do. But my plan would be to get the rebuild kit, get the gasket kits, and start from the ground up, man. Start with the beer block. I'm gonna do a frame in rebuild. So just leave the motor inside the chassis. Start with the block, do the pistons, pretty much ground up, man. Regasket it, and just get this motor back to where it's supposed to be and in driving conditions. So there's enough room in the engine bay. That's why I want to do it too. If I don't have to pull it, I don't have to pull it, then that's fine with me. It's actually out the trailer now. It's just sitting there parked. So yeah, man, it's been a lot. Been through a lot with this car, but I still like the car. I mean, I could sell everything and just restart. I was considering that as well. I might even still consider that, but the moment I buy parts, I know I'm gonna want to start working on it again. So we will see. We will see. And dude, and like I said, dude, like these Supras are just going so crazy in value. I've seen cars similar to mine, maybe less mileage, maybe more mileage, but with the running motors. I've seen the same chassis swapped, and people are just selling them for ridiculous prices right now. Not saying that's what they're worth, but technically they're worth whatever somebody's willing to pay for it. So even if I go the swap route, I'm not saying I'm going to ever sell the car. I'm just saying I could just rebuild the motor, a few $100s into it, and make a decent return on profit, selling this car, because people want these old cars. People want 30-year-old Supras, and they want a good, nice, clean chassis to work with, because, that's what people do with these cars. They swap them, drift them, drag them, race them, and street cars. Personally, my goal is a street car with this car. I don't know if I want to have like a time attack ready, canyon ready street car. That would be the goal for this car. I'm already looking at a few swap options, you know, but I really can't decide just yet. I'm really not too sure. And when I do decide, I do want it to be a surprise and something that's really hype and ready for the channel. But my mind's everywhere with this car, man. I see so much potential in it, but I also see so much downside with it. And it's really just about how I want to spend my time with it and where I want to go with the car. But yeah, I'm very excited for it. But this is the new project car officially for the channel for right now. You know, if things change and we move to something else, then that's what it is. But what can I do, man? What can I do? But it'd also be nice to be. Oh, it'd also be nice to have a like another car, I guess, to drive. But I had to post these videos because I've had them for a while, and I know these next few months I'm either gonna be buying parts or selling cars. So we will see. But until then, if anything changes, I'll let you guys know and keep you updated on when I work on the car and what we do to it and go from there. That's the update. I'm glad you guys watched this video. If you guys made it this far, like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, any suggestions or any recommendations, you guys want to see some crazy swapping, whatever you guys really wanted to see, just let me know. Any crazy ideas or something, or you know. But now the fact that I'm posting this video, I think that will give me some motivation as well to, you know, complete this and really get into this car, because there's so many other older cars I love as well, but to have this one, and you know, I'm pretty grateful to have this one. It's I think it's a good thing, man. Even though I'm not seeing it as that right now, I'm seeing it as more of like just dumping my money where I don't really want to. But I think it's a good thing because, like I said, when these cars are getting old, nobody really has them anymore. I can see it being one of those cars where I keep for a while just because you can't find them anymore. So yeah, and even between this last video and now, I've seen like so many like inspiration builds and stuff and what people are doing with these cars now. The platform is really getting bigger. The forums and like the Facebook community and stuff like that. There's a lot of people starting to buy Supras now, and I think they're realizing that it's that JDM car that you can still buy in good condition because it was one of those higher tier JDM cars as far as condition and quality. Like they were owned by businessmen and back in the 80s and 90s. Like they weren't like cars that kids really thrashed on. They're starting to be like that because they're cheap now. Like I said, the one that I got is in fairly great condition. So like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, DM me, leave a comment. Go follow my pages. Go follow my accounts. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.